Assalamualaikum and a very good day. I wish to the persons who are watching this presentation. My name is Jasmine Binti Jamaludin. I am from Nilai Polytechnic, Negeri Sembilan. I will be presenting the first part of this presentation, and my friend Nurfaiza Bidin will be presenting the second part of the presentation. Okay, before I start, let me introduce you to our innovation, which is Suggest to Win. Okay, moving on to the next slide. What is actually Suggest to Win? For this innovation, Suggest to Win is an interactive board game created to address communication barrier as the lack of confidence knowing among the students in Polytechnic. For those students who are focusing on DUE 10012 Communicative English 1 course. This course is taken in semester 1. This innovation intends to stimulate opinionated activities to enhance thinking skills, as well as to inculcate independent learning in real life situation whereby students are capable to give suggestions and to counter suggest. This innovation, Suggest to Win, is not just focusing on autonomous learning per se. It is likewise to enhance classroom learning activities via cooperative learning. Suggest to Win also involved 60 respondents engaged in 2 classes. Data was collected through questionnaire and Google Form Classroom. And this interactive game is designed to be used by semester 1, like I told you. And through DUE 10012, the topic covers current issues that require students to pose their opinions and suggestions to the issues highlighted to exchange information within their group members. So basically this Suggest to Win focuses on exchanging suggestions and counter suggestions. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, the problem statement. Okay, Suggest to Win materializes real-time communication, where it acts like a tool of communications and understanding. My partner and I realized that there is a linguistic barrier that occurs, such as lack of confidence and memory confidence. The lecturers and the students are required to use CDOS e-learning platform. CDOS is one of the platform, is a compulsory platform to be used by the Polytechnic students for online learning, as well as Google Meet. But many students expressed the type problems that sometimes the internet cannot be accessed. Therefore, as a result, the game became an unenjoyable one. Okay, so interactive board game is a substitute. Substitute if the students complain the limitations. A substitute of online games. Therefore, Suggest to Win is created to overcome when internet is slow. So this Suggest to Win is used to alternative of the online game if it comes to the topic of suggestions and counter suggestions. Okay, the objectives of Suggest to Win of our innovation. Number 1, to address communication barrier as students' lack of confidence, like what I told just now, and speaking in English. To stimulate opinionated activities, to enhance thinking skills by exchanging suggestions and in a way to counter suggest, and then to inculcate independent learning by real life situations, as well as to enhance classroom activities by cooperative learning. Okay. And the characteristics of this game is basically it's duplication of snakes and ladders. It focuses more on the face-to-face games. Like we all know, it's if you're playing a board game, you'll be having face-to-face activity, yeah, and emphasis on communication. See, what you need to do, just like the traditional online, board game, you have to roll the dice, and then in a way for you to move to the next steps, yeah, randomly accepting the game. So what are the rules? Basically, when it's stopped to certain points, you have to give suggestions. Any other way, other players can counter suggest. Yeah, let me show you the sample. Okay, this is a sample of Suggest to Win interactive board game. Okay, moving on to my friend.
Hi, I'm Nur Faiza. So moving on to the next methodology. Well, actually, I'm going to talk about how actually the students are going to play this game. Alright, now what you see right now is actually aku boleh click dah, tapi in terms of methodology, I'm going to explain about how the students are going to play this. Alright, now each student, 4 of them, will be given the board game. Alright, we feel that 4 is the suitable total of a student to play this game per group, because it will give more chance for the student to speak up and to have their own turn. Now, what the student will do that they will be given a strip like this, a colorful strip, or it can also be a colorful paperclip like this to represent themselves, right? So all of the students will start at go box, and then they will flip a coin. So let's say if they have the head, alright, so the students are going to move to 2 box, and also if they get a tail, then the student will move to only 1 box. Now let's say if student A have the turn, and then student B is going to read what is it on the box. Okay, so whatever is written in the box that student A needs to reply back, student B will say it to student A. For example, let's say if the student come to box 13, so student B will say, well, I am hungry. So she will tell the situation to student A, and student A has to give the suggestion on how to solve this problem faced by student B accordingly. Now, the student will be given only 1 minute to answer or to reply or to suggest their suggestion. If not, they will lose their turn. So, winner will only be decided whoever gets to the last box. Alright, so the fastest they do it and the more they say it, then they will get as a winner in the end. Then it's also a danger box, whereby the student, if they come across the danger box, they have to lose 1 round. Okay, that is basically how we play the game. The game is exactly just like what the student have played before. For example, the snake and ladder game. So it is very familiar. In fact, whenever we ask the student to play it, they already know what they have to do. So that is one of the advantages. We have saved a lot of time actually if in explaining ourselves and how to play some games. Next. Okay, now we are talking about the impacts of Suggest to Win interactive board game. Well, we have done a pilot test of 60 students in semester 1 student of Polytechnic Nilai, where we are right now. Okay, these 60 students, 30 students from Diploma Kejuruteraan Mechanical students, so we call it DKM student, and also 30 DBT students, meaning they are a student of Diploma Biotechnology. So both of these control group, okay, are taking DUE 10012 Communicative English 1, whereby under one of their topic, okay, they have to suggest and counter the suggestion. So this is when we came up with this board game. Alright, so when we tested in both control group of DKM3, DKM student and also DBT student, next, in the end of the session, they were given questionnaire to answer, so that we can see the feedback of what they think of the interactive board game that they have just experienced. Okay, So the result shows that students really enjoy themselves while playing this interactive game. If you can see, it is maybe because they have the idea on how to play the game, and basically they are against each other. So learning in traditional classroom might be boring, but when it comes to a game, then they are learning, but they are also enjoying themselves. Now, and this is definitely has something to do with students are very familiar with the game of snakes and ladder game. So it somehow reduces anxiety in learning. And then majority of the students found themselves in less stress situation as they communicate within their group member, as opposed to if the lecturer asks the student to say something, you suggest and you give the suggestion, they will feel reluctant. But when they are playing among themselves, it really less stress to them. Next, students also display active participation. Whenever it's a board game involved, it is not chalk and talk, it is not traditional learning, then suddenly the students are lively and they really participate actively in playing the game, because to them it's no more learning, but it is playing time. So the thought actually make them more confident in speaking. Alright, so we also find that through this interactive board game, okay, the student use more expression and knowledge, and also they display a better understanding of what they learn throughout the course. Next, the use of interactive board game also increase student interest in learning English. So they know that this is not a boring part, and this is not something that is traditional classroom would have as a boring English class. So basically, this level of game is also matched with student ability. If you think that your student are intermediate level, so you can adjust the content to intermediate level. Alright, so next I will talk about teachers' benefit. Because this interactive board game requires zero cost. You just have a piece of paper and a little bit of colored paper, alright, and the content is easily adapted by the lecturer or by the teachers. For example, I have prepared here, okay, if the teachers happen to teach DUE 3012 in Polytechnic, the topic under complaints topic, so the content of the board game can be adjusted to complain and reply to complaint. So as if the lecturer is teaching DUE 5012 for semester 4 student under topic job hunting skill, they can still use this board game, but they can change the content into job interview question. So they will be answering and asking question on job interview. Right? So that is a very huge benefit for teachers because it is easily adaptable. Right? Next, for the recommendation, we hope that we are going to make this into available for students, especially online and offline. Okay, because if it's online, then the student can play with anybody all over the world. And one more thing, it is also convenience for them if we have it in online and offline, because they can play anytime with their friends. So it's actually more beneficial for students. Okay, last but not least, in conclusion, okay, Suggest to Win is an interactive board game that has been proven to be a great alternative for teachers. It addressed the barrier of communication, confidence, and also it saved a lot of, it also introduced independent learning among students, whereby they really enjoy it very much. So I really hope that others lecturers are going to get this interactive board game in their class and experience it themselves. And by the way, it is a time for us to move forward. So to be able to have this game inline and offline, it is our hope that everybody will enjoy this interactive board game in the future. Thank you very much.